Sorry if I have food in my mouth. Okay. Welcome back to Toronto. Always great to have you here.
Thanks. Great festival.
Wonderful, wonderful performance. And I understand it's something you didn't just immediately jump on. Is that true?
No, I was confused. Not confused by the script, but the character seemed. I couldn't get a beat on the character from the script. It was somewhat vague to me, and what ultimately really pulled me in was that I made a film called The Painted Veil with John Curran, and I had such a great experience with him. I thought he was such a complex thinker and a serious filmmaker. I figured that anything he was so persuaded of, I should really give a second look to, and he fleshed out for me a sense of what he was going for with this film that was a lot bigger than just the script itself.
And how do you get into the mindset of a guy like him? He's an interesting character, you know?
Well, John, one of the things, you can't just always telescope on the character you're going to play. You got to look at the piece itself and think about what's happening in this. And John put it really beautifully. I thought he said that, it's about one person who's very unstable becoming much more stable and grounded in an authentic spiritual feeling, and one person who seems very stable, has all the constructs of stability in his life, who goes exactly the other direction, and how these two characters, one of whom is supposed to be judging the other, actually invert. And the role of judgment between them, literally one is meant sort of judging the other, and by the end, they've almost totally inverted their positions. And I thought that was really well put. And so I think when you know the arc that you've got to transcribe in a way, you start to build character around that.
And of course, you've worked with Robert De Niro before, but you still, it's still just a great one-on-one with the two of you. Are you still learning when you're acting against people like that?
Definitely. And not even just because he's such a famous and wonderful actor, but because all actors are really different, and you learn over time, I think, to get not to worry so much about whether someone else's process is the same as yours, and in a way to accept that everyone's going to be different. The great thing about working with someone a second time is that you already kind of know. You go, I remember what the rhythm. I know the rhythm of the way De Niro works, and I know what he sort of demands in a scene, and I know, and we've already figured out how to blend the way we work. So
nice comfort zone there.
And then that comfort creates a lot of freedom. It gets you out of here and kind of into this more intuitive way of working, which is a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Okay, gotta ask you about the cornrows. How much did your head hurt after that?
You remember in the movie Brazil when they're pulling the woman's face out? It's a little like that.
And I understand you had to. There was nobody in LA who could do it properly, so you brought this woman in from Detroit or something.
Well, we were in Detroit. We made the movie just north of Detroit, and there's not that many Hollywood hairstylists who are good at a good prison row. So there was a great lady named Crystal she worked at a salon, and like the 8
How long did it take?
It took like an hour and a half. Yeah.
Because your hair's not that long, right? So
it's not now. It was longer.
Yeah. No, amazing. Okay, now I have to just say you are the most, by bar none, the most envied person at this film festival, because you get to sit down with the boss tonight, Bruce Springsteen. It's the only person I ever stayed up all night long for to get tickets when I was 16 years old in the freezing cold here in Toronto.
What concert?
Oh my God, I'm not even going to tell you how old I am.
Come on, what year was it?
I was 16. We're talking 30 years ago, my friend. Okay. And I didn't even care where I sat,
so
because
like the river, maybe.
It was back there. Okay,
okay.
I have to. And I've been to almost every show since. Is there any burning question that you're dying to ask him?
Well, I got a whole bunch of questions to ask him. I've got the assignment to do it for an hour or plus.
But something really that you've just always been dying to know about him.
Well, I'm lucky. I've gotten to know Bruce in the last 10, 12 years, and he's been really supportive to me and really great. I've gotten to have a lot of long talks with him about a whole lot of things. So I think I have some funny, esoteric questions about the record itself, but I also, the documentary, which everyone will get to see, goes so exhaustively into the making of the record Darkness on the Edge of Town that and what he was going through at that time. That's really what the film is about, is him going through a very, very difficult time and struggling to create and make the record despite that. So I didn't want to just double down on that, and I wanted to try to come up with things that I think in some ways are more about so a few other themes of how, you know, what goes into his thinking about the work. And
Oh, I just want to know how he stays up there for like 4 hours on stage all the time. It just blows me away. Best concert by far I've ever been to in my life.
It's like a revival tent. He's like the preacher.
He totally is.
Yeah.
I will follow him anywhere. Well, congratulations to you on this, and have
Thanks.
such a great time tonight.
Good.
And I'm going to be watching online.
Yeah, I think you can stream it.
Yeah, absolutely. Always great to talk to you.
Thanks a
And
million.
Good luck with
Yeah,
this. You're
thanks.
fantastic.
No,
Thank you.
thanks a lot.
Thank you. Oh, yeah.